right, ladies and gentlemen, back with another student interview. Today we got the man, the myth, the Aussie, Daniel Vincent. How we doing, brother?
G'day, g'day. I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, man. Um, so yeah, first question for you, just to kind of like start it off. Before we get into your kind of story and your situation, how much are you currently making with your home service business?
Good question. Good question. So at the moment, we're doing about ten to $15,000 a week. Okay. So like the last week, I worked 3.5 days. We made $8,000. So like I'd say at the moment, anywhere from ten to $15,000 a week. So this month on path for like 55K this week. So when I joined the course, it was a lot less when I started, and then now like scaling up, watching all your courses, man. Like honestly, each week the revenue just keeps on going up.
That's insane. 50K a week, or sorry, month. Tell me about your situation and like how you ended up here, how you got into window cleaning, what you were doing before, and how we're kind of here now.
Okay, the backstory. So basically, I I started in door-to-door sales, selling like other products for a few different companies. I was doing like solar, I was doing charity, and I'm in Australia, right? It's a bit different to America, but the money was good. It was the most for like a 19-year-old I was making. I felt good, okay? But I was looking for the next step. I was like, how can I get to that next level? And I was selling solar, and I didn't like the idea of another boss having control of my income, or even though I was like self-employed being a contractor, I still had to wait 4 or 5 weeks for something to get sold. And knowing me, man, I'm like a really big instant gratification guy. So like I need to see the money hit my account today or tomorrow. I can't wait 4 weeks and then there's like a cancel or like, oh, the customer fell off. So I always knew window cleaning was a thing for about 2 years. I saw a few other people. And then as I was selling solar, I just realized, damn, my bank account just isn't going up. I'm making 2K a day selling solar, but I'm barely getting 2K by the end of the week in my bank account. And then I was doing a bit of research on YouTube looking into window cleaning, and then I saw like Nick Gaines pop up on like a video, and I was like, hmm. And I looked through some of his content, and I'm like, damn, this makes a lot of sense. How is this kid 21 years old doing 100K months? Yeah, he's in America, but it's the same market. And it's like it just pissed me off, honestly. And I saw that and I was like, damn, like I need that knowledge. I need to find a way to get there. Because if there's a kid doing 100K a month and I'm doing like 15K a month in solar, it's it's aggravating because it's like, okay, maybe he's better at door-to-door sales, but you can't be that much better to do like 85K more a month sort of thing. So I'm like, okay, I see that. I didn't have any like a lot of people when they see people online, they have that limiting belief where like, oh, it's fake, he's a scammer. But I didn't have that. I just thought, oh, it's real. Like what? Of course it's real, sort of thing. So yeah, I reached out to Nick on Instagram and I just sent him a long text. I think this was when was this, Nick? In September last year.
It was like, yeah, towards the end of last year. I don't remember when, something like that. Yeah.
It was like 3, 4 months ago. It was a while ago. I reached out to him and I'm like, damn, this guy's you were helping me for free. He was, giving me advice, giving me help and that sort of stuff. And at this point in time, I was still selling solar, but I was trying to knock doors, like even in my solar top, to like see if window cleaning would work, sort of thing. Because not many people do it here in Sydney, and no one did it. And then on the weekends, I was starting to sell window cleaning. I started with like a squidgy in a bucket, and then basically, I got to a point where I literally couldn't even make rent. That I had like 2, 3 thousand bucks in my account. And I spoke to Nick, and he's like, "Dude, just burn the boats and just buy the equipment." Like you were just texting me for free, Nick, weren't you, on Instagram?
Yeah, yeah,
So I
I
just thought,
remember
like,
that.
bro, yeah.
Or go on, go on.
And he was sending me voice memos. Make sure you go out today. Just knock. Just do it. I had no idea what I was doing, right? So I kind of I knew what to do in September, but I fuffled around for 2-ish months at this time, and just like, oh, one day window cleaning, oh, it doesn't work. Okay, back to solar. And then like 2 days window cleaning, okay, this doesn't work. Now back to solar. And I didn't go all in because I wasn't sure if it would work. And then I bought kind of the tank and the setup. And I saw after one day, I made like $1,000. It just on the drive home, I was like, is this real? Like $1,000 into my account. And then fast forward to that point, it got to just before Christmas. And I think I saw the potential window cleaning and I did like I did 2 weeks by myself and I made like I made like $1,000 a day for 2 weeks, sort of thing. Like some days it was like 600. It wasn't that consistent. I was like, okay, this works. I'm stuck. I don't know how to get to the next level because it seems easier on paper, like, oh, just clean windows and sell the jobs. But there are so many issues that if I didn't like, this isn't even just to try to sell the next program. Like genuinely, if I didn't join the program, I would still be at like max like 1,500 a day, 1K a day. And that's even with door-to-door sales experience. Like if I didn't have that, I'd be screwed. And then so I had a bit of money in my account. I paid off all my rent and my debt. I had like 5K in my account or 3K in my account. And I was like, look, I need to join this course. Just tell me how much it is, sort of thing. Do you remember that when I said that?
Yeah. I remember the voice memo.
Yeah. And we hopped on a call, I think, at the very start of January, just after my birthday, like January the 3rd, January the 4th. And I was very scared to join. I wanted to delay it because I didn't have money in my account. I would ask my parents, like, Daniel, wait till you have, money saved up before you join. And then I was like, if I join, I could just make the money back tomorrow or the next day. You know what I mean? Like, so I just bit the bullet and I had a little bit of savings and I had a little bit and I just reinvested it back into a course. And let's just say I'm so fucking grateful that I did that because the last 2 months, like, would not have been the same if I did not take that initial leap. And yeah, just since joining, like, literally from day one, like, all the courses, I've hammered Nick with questions, like, so many questions to the point where he probably hates me at this point. Just it's the courses genuinely like I'm a big believer. I never believed in courses. I always thought courses are kind of a scam. Just do it yourself. You can read books, you can watch free YouTube videos, sort of thing. But everything was just I joined and everything was laid out on like a genuine roadmap where it's like exactly what to do, how to clean, exactly how to hire the workers, exactly how to call them, exactly what to say to them on text, exactly how to structure the day, how to incentivize them. Everything was literally to a T that like not to be rude, but it kind of makes it impossible to not like if you're not doing 30K a month minimum next course, it's not a skill issue, it's just an action issue. Like you're doing something wrong. You're just not trying. Like it's impossible to not do 30K a month. Genuinely. Um yeah, I'm sorry, I'm yapping a lot.
No, you're
Is
good. You're good. That's and yeah, I appreciate that a ton. But I totally agree. Like with you hammering me with questions, I think that is a very successful student behavior. Like me myself, having been in coaching programs, like I'm in one right now. I think one of the reasons I've succeeded in the past and am like continue to grow really fast, in the same way you have, is just because like I I ask a ton of questions and I don't let any point in the like lapse of information like go missing. Like if I don't know something, like I'm going to get that information and like then I'm gonna go take action on it. And then I might say, well, like I tried it, but like what about this thing? Because like the faster you take action, the more questions come up. And I think like that's why you have succeeded so fast is because like you ask a ton of questions. Okay, I know what to do. Now you go do it. And now you have questions on what you just did. How can I make this better? Well, okay, I just bought more equipment. Well, what's the XYZ system to store it? Okay, well now I have a second worker. How do I manage two workers versus one? And it's like the faster you get information and take action, the more like information you kind of need. So I think like you asking a ton has kind of helped speed you up for sure in like your process.
and
Um,
like you've paid for a course, you might as well rinse it for as much
yeah,
information as you
exactly.
can.
Exactly. And that's the same mindset I've come from like too is um like I've made this investment. Now it's on me to make it worth it. Because I think there are people who invest into programs and then they just do nothing with it. And they just blame the opportunity, they blame the person. Sometimes there are just genuinely like bad programs, or like bad courses, but like it at the end of the day, it is still on you to take action. And if you don't put in the work, you're not going to see it. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, like my main question for you was like you did start on your own and you got the tank on your own and you were making, like you said, 600 to 1,000 ish per day before you joined. What made you still want to join the program despite like the fact that you already made money? Because I think a lot of people that's their main like hurdle in their head is like, can I do it myself? Can I do it myself? Because they don't want to waste the money. And so like, I guess what led you to join the program despite the fact that you were already making, pacing 10, 20K a month before even joining?
Mhm. That's a really good question. Two things. The first thing is that I want to be rich. Like, and I thought to myself, making $600 to $1,000 a day, like it's good. Like, I was 20, I'm 20, I just turned 21. I was 20 years old. Like, it's good money. But I saw the potentiality of it. And I'm like, okay, let's say a course you join, whatever industry it is, whether it's this or not, let's say a course is 5K or 10K or however much a course might be, right? It's like, will spending that money mean the next 2 months I'm going to make more money back, sort of thing? That's what I thought because I saw the potentiality of the situation. And then it was just a no-brainer. I saw it and it's like, I'm getting like 2 to 3 months of one-to-one advice that's going to be applicable from the next day. It's like, why would I not spend money? And the also other thing I've been like, I'm a big believer is you got to have that sort of abundance mindset. Like if a lot of people that want to join the course, whatever your goal is, whether you want to just make your first 20, 30K a month or you don't want to do $1 million a year, like to to be able to make a lot of money, you can't be scared of spending. Like there's a lot of quotes that say like to make your first $1 million, you got to spend 100K. To make your first 100K, you got to spend 10K sort of thing. So it's like I'm a big believer in like if you invest in something it's going to be worth it. Like you got to spend money to make money a little bit. Like you can do it yourself, but why would I not just speed track the entire progress with the gap in my knowledge? I'm just paying for information to get to then increase my action like threshold for that essentially. And so that was the main reason why I took the course because I also talked to you and I watched every single video, I watched every Instagram reel, and I texted you and I asked audios and I sussed everything out to make sure it was legit before I joined because I didn't want to get scammed. And it's very much legit. Like there's a full community, everyone's putting in their numbers every day. There's leaderboards, there's one-on-one chats, we do group calls every week. Like I, for someone like me that asks a lot of questions, there's not much more I can ask. Like everything's just kind of laid out. So, and what I will say, Nick, is that like this place I just moved into, like I'm literally living my dream life. Like I'm living
That view is
in my
insane.
own apartment, in like literally in the city in Sydney, like in Centennial Park. I'm like on track for like $1 million this year doing window cleaning, and it's like I'm 21 years old. I'm living my dream life, and I don't want to like kind of like sell you too hard, Nick, but genuinely, like from the bottom of my heart, I mean this. It's authentic. I would not be in this situation if it wasn't for you. Like I actually mean that. I'm not just saying that. And Nick's not also not also just taught me window cleaning, just like business. He's very smart. Like he teaches just like solving each bottleneck as like at a time as it comes, and just the kind of mindset to have. And also, I'm going a bit of tangent, but when it's like the quote, you're an average of the five people you hang around with. It's
Yeah.
like it doesn't have to be in person. Like me talking to Nick every day, like he's still in my average of five people. And if one of my average of five people is making 100K a month, sort of thing, plus, it's like that's just going to drag me up. I've got four other people in the course who are all crushing every day, so I can't like miss a day. I can't because you're surrounded by that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, 100%. And I appreciate all the kind words, and I
I mean,
totally
bro, I
agree
mean
with
it.
I totally agree with the five people thing because it's like if you don't have connection to people that are doing better than you, there's no reason to grow. Like if your five people are all at your level, it's like your perceived gap of like where you are and where you want to be is like it's actually so much smaller because there's no pressure. It's like it's actually quite comfortable even if you do want to make more money to stay the same because everyone else you're around is that way. But it's like
Mm,
if you do want to change and you surround yourself by people who maybe one of them is where you're at and they're on the same journey, but maybe a couple of them are like a couple steps ahead. And then maybe there's a couple of them that are like way ahead. And it's like you get to take bits and pieces of knowledge and like motivation from each of those people and their different perspectives. And you kind of get a new standard set. Like when your standard is if you're like in college or high school or you have a 9 to 5, like if your standard is that and all of your peers are that, it's like, well, that's your standard. You know what I mean? You might want more, but like we've talked about this before too. It's not about how big your goal is. It's about what your minimum standard is. And if your minimum standard is, oh, well, like at the end of the day, if I have this 9 to 5, it's not that bad. Or if I have, if I don't make any money, it's not that bad. It's like it's going to be so much harder to actually grow into the person that you do want to be because it's your goal doesn't matter. You could make your goal $1 billion, but if your standard is 5K a month, guess what you're probably going to be at around 5K a month.
Dude,
Um,
that's so true. Because like any kind of average person my age that's like at uni, kind of working, would be happy with like $1,000 a week sort of thing. So you can think, oh, I made like 1K today. I cannot work the rest of the week. But when I'm in the course, bro, it's like if I'm not doing 2.5K a day, like I feel scared putting my numbers in the chat.
well, yeah, you definitely don't have to worry because you've been doing like 2 to 3K a day pretty consistently for a while. But yeah, um,
Feel
yeah,
real, bro. It honestly doesn't feel real because it's like we've got this goal where we keep on striving for more. But then when you tell like I try not to tell people, I just say, oh, what do you do for work? Oh, I just have a window cleaning business sort of thing. But then when you compare to like friends, like you're making how much people make in a month in like one day sort of thing, and it's like the money doesn't feel real, bro. Like I don't know, I just life just feels crazy right now. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. Well, I love to see it. I love the view, by the way. That's freaking sick. Um, and yeah, I guess like kind of last two questions, kind of to wrap this up. What would you say to someone who's like maybe because obviously the numbers you're doing right now are pretty crazy, like 50 to 60K a month, like just over a month in the program, um, like might be hard for someone who's just starting out to wrap their mind around. What would you say to the person who's either in school, not making any money right now, or they're in a job, not making very much money, and they just want to get started? What would you say, having been in that position to where you might have had some door to door experience in the past, but like when you took your first steps, what are the main things you would say to someone who's just starting out?
I think it's a quote that you gave me. Saving time doesn't save time, and saving money doesn't save. I wanted to delay joining the course 2 to 3 months until I had enough safe income sort of thing to join. And if I was in there 2 to 3 months earlier, I could have joined at a better time and also be making more money. So I think the biggest thing is it's like life is a game of risks and you just got to bet on yourself. And whether if you've got a gut feeling about something where you think it's going to work, I think you just got to take that risk and just go for it because when you do it and when you do make it work, your only regret is that you didn't do it earlier, sort of thing. Like, I wish I had this opportunity 2 years ago. If I had this opportunity 2 years ago, I'd be like millionaire easily, like just already, like 2 years ago if I had this. So, yeah, I think the biggest thing is when you see like an opportunity with something that you want, it's just like, just do it. Like, obviously, don't just jump into something, but do like your research, do what you need to do. Like, whether it's a course or whether it's, I don't know, buying that first setup or buying that first tank, like, just try it. Just try it. Because for so long, I didn't want to buy the tank. I kept on procrastinating. Oh, on Monday, I'll buy it. Oh, on Tuesday, I'll knock doors. Oh, I'm scared. I knocked 3 doors today. Everyone said no, but it didn't work. Oh, window cleaning doesn't work in Sydney. No one does it in Sydney. And it's just limiting beliefs. Like, it's all limiting beliefs. So I think, yeah, just take that risk. And the best way to know if something works is to just maybe spend a little bit of a money investment or go to Walmart and buy a squidgy and just try it. And if it works, okay, next step and try it and just keep going. And then look, if you need a mentorship, which I think 99% of people do for window cleaning, at least in this case, then yeah, just buy it. Like once you get to that point, um, I do wish that I did buy it earlier, like at the very, very, very start, because I would have just saved 2 months of just fiddling around. But I guess everything happens for a reason. So yeah, that's kind of what I would say. Just go do that next step.
Yeah, and what would you say for like for the people who they want to go out there and get started, but they have like no experience, no idea what to expect, what to hold themselves accountable to? Like, what would you say for that person? Um, to like if they're gonna go knock doors tomorrow, what do they need to know?
As in like as in like training, what do they need to know, or is it just the mindset with it? Like
Either. Like what do you think the just smallest the like just simplest nugget that they could take going into the day?
What I'll say is door-to-door sales is like the way I view it is it's like you literally get paid for self-improvement. You get paid to learn how to talk to people. When I started door-to-door sales, I was awkward, I was terrible, I couldn't speak. So I'd say every no gets you closer to a yes. The way I view it is like if I knock 30 doors in a day and I make like $1,000, then each door is worth like 30 dollars sort of thing. Is that the max? Yeah. So yeah, like every no I get is kind of $30 sort of thing. So the way I view it is like, don't be scared. No one cares. You're gonna knock on that person's door. 10 seconds later, they're gonna forget about you. If you forget your pitch, if you don't know what you're saying, if you just say, hey, we're doing window cleaning in the area, yada yada yada. Do you want a price sort of thing? Like it doesn't hurt. Just take that action. And I think door-to-door sales is just like the best industry because you're chatting to like 100 new people a day. You're meeting people. You're going to new places. You're speaking to people constantly. You're learning your social skills. You're learning human psychology as well. Like it's just it's a great skill to have. So don't be scared. Like go out there and just do and just fail and just fail and keep failing until you get better. And then you're gonna suck and keep sucking even more. And then eventually you'll be good. And then that's just kind of the answer. Like what would you say, Nick?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's just it's there's always a next step, but my biggest advice to someone who hasn't started is make it exist before you make it good. Like you make it good in the doing. Like your first day, like you don't even know what you need to work on until you've knocked your first door. Like what if you're actually a lot better than you think? What if it's not as hard as you think? What if it's not as scary? And so like you don't know until you do it. And so you just got to do it. And even if it does suck, that's okay. And so just get started, make your business exist before you have all of the insurances and the LLCs and all the different stuff that you could get bogged down in. Just go knock doors, get a customer, clean their windows or clean their gutters. Heck, do whatever you got to do, and then take the next step from there. And if you keep taking next steps, eventually you'll be making 10K a month and then 30K a month, and then you'll be like Daniel and you'll live in a sick apartment in Sydney. So,
Do you remember Nick when I started and I wanted everything perfect before I started? I'm like, you're like, dude, just go knock. Like you don't even I was trying to buy the perfect equipment when I didn't even have any jobs. You're like, Dan, just go out there and knock. I didn't have a shirt. I wanted to get like business cards first and a website and like the insurances and all the things that don't move the needle in your goal, sort of thing. And I was like trying to do all these things, have everything perfect, and then I'll start. And I wasted so much time. I wish I just took each step at a time, which I'm doing now. So
so,
yeah,
so
don't make that mistake if you're watching.
yeah, just get started. But yeah, man, I mean, this has been awesome. Where can people find you if they wanted to connect with you um, or where can people do that?
Good question. So on my Instagram, I've got a tag called Carnivore Vitality. Yes, I'm a carnivore. I only eat meat. Yes, I know it's weird, but yeah. You can find me on Carnivore Vitality on Instagram. Feel free to shoot me a DM, ask me any questions. Yeah, I'll just be honest and open. So if you want to find me on there, it's cool.
Big brother. Awesome. Well, this has been awesome. And yeah, go go join Home Service Academy if you haven't, or stay poor. Your choice. But yeah, we'll see you at the next one.